Hello everybody, this is Robert Price. So today we're going to pretty much finish out what we've been doing. So this is part 3. Now this is what we call the drive, okay? So at the end of these congregational songs, they like to repeat, all right? So we're going to do maybe 2 or 3 different ways you can actually approach this, okay? Now the traditional way, we're in the key of D flat or C sharp. You hear a traditional bass line like this. You know, that's just a regular drive. I'll show you that if you don't really know how to play that, if you don't have a bass player. But if you do, you're pretty much used to that. So we're going to do something else. This is pretty much the 4 to the 6, 2, 5 to that 1. And usually how you'll hear, they'll be like, you know, stuff like that. Or you'll probably hear this. You can do all kind of stuff with that. And I'm going to show you the 2-hand voicings. Because a lot of times what I like to do is, if we're doing this bass line right here. All right. If you didn't get that, you can slow it down. But I'll do something like this. Right? I'll do. Yeah, so, right, you can do, that can be the 4, 6, 2, all right? So let's cover all that, okay? All right, so the first one is something that's a little bit more standard. We're kind of getting away from it now, especially in 2019. We got a lot of crazy bass lines for that drive, but for a standard bass line, you have, I'm just going to play it on the screen because I have a lot of chords to break down. So, all right, that's your traditional bass line. All right, if you start off with that, here go a couple of chords you can probably play. On that, it can be, all right, so the first chord is this. All right. So this is when they just started. Because what you're doing, you're pretty much going from the 1 to the 4, or from the 4 to the 1. So, all right. So here we go. From left to right, you got that G flat, A flat, and B in your left hand. I'm going to go kind of fast, okay? Because this right here should probably be the shorter lesson, maybe, okay? All right. So you pretty much have this G flat, A flat, and B over this, pretty much it's just an E major chord, okay? So, all right. With that E flat, a lot of times instead of playing the E flat, I'll play the D flat at the top. You see that? Okay? So you can either do this or you can do this. Okay? So I'll let you switch, but you're going to be bouncing too. So, all right, then we're going to do this. All right. This is pretty much your chord over the 4. We actually went over this in a previous video. All right. You see how, flip that note right there? So you have that tritone in your left hand, that E and B flat. Okay. In your right hand, you have E, B flat, and D flat. This is that 4, that F sharp, yep, F sharp 7, with an added 9, okay, as you can see. So, all right, so you could just go back and forth. Now that right there, just add in you know, that octave, just to sound a little churchy, you know, so we went over that too. So if you don't know that, then just look at the previous video. So, all right. Now, so you won't keep doing that for a long time. You can add in what I showed you before. We were doing this, right? See how I added both of them see, I'm just going back and forth. So you could do that. That can get you by, okay? You doing, all right? Now, if you do have a bass player and you're doing this, you do. You see what I'm doing? Literally. That right there be your friend right there. That's a safe zone, okay? This right here. You know, that right there, the way I think about it is just an E major to a F sharp major. All right, now this right here, when you really think about it, these are minor chords, so it's like a C sharp minor to that E flat minor, really, right? Okay, so I really just gave you some hacks right there that you can use if you're going to just be going back and forth. All right, so that's the first way you can do it. Okay, this that drive. This is when they're just saying, "I get joy, I get joy, I get joy," or whatever they're doing. Power Lord, you know. Now, if they're doing something like that, that's why we're gonna do this right here. So now we're gonna do the other one. All right, you can teach your bass player that if you guys don't do that. So this is something different. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna do that one more time. I'm gonna do it a different way this time. All right. Okay, this right here can really add that different, you know, feel to it. Okay, and that bass line one more time is, you can do something like this. All right, so if I don't have a bass player, I'll do something like, let me see. I'll probably do that. Or okay. Now this right here, if you see me playing this, all right, that's just what I did with my preacher chords. I think I showed that in a previous video. I think it's called house raising chords or something like that. That's where I get this from. Okay? All right, that's on the 5. So you can grab that really quick. Okay? But I'm going to show this as if you have a bass player. All right? So here we go. We're doing this. I already broke that down before, but if you don't have it, I'm going to give it to you really quick. All right, so you have that E and B flat in your left hand, and in your right hand you just have an F sharp major chord. Okay, but we're gonna play this inversion right here. All right, you see that? And then, all right, so you have F and B in your left hand. If I'm going too fast, just kind of pause it so you can catch up. Okay, like I said, I don't want this video to be too long. All right. So now I'm playing a D flat major chord, but I'm gracing that E. So you can practice that. Add that little churchy feel. All right, so that right there will give you enough time for this part right here. Until you get to that 5. So, all right, so. All right, so this is the first way we're gonna do it. Once we get to that 1, we're gonna do this. That's gonna be our first thing. So you already have that. You're gonna play E flat in both octaves. Octaves. So, all right, after that, we're gonna play this A major chord. But I'm playing E in both octaves, okay? So you have E, A, C sharp, and E. A major chord over this F and B tritone. That's pretty much over your C sharp or the G. Remember, they're interchangeable, so you can use the G in place of the C sharp. It actually sounds a little bit churchy when you do this. All right, it sounds kind of cool when you go there. So the first way is going to be this. This the 4. That's what we're going to do. You of course, you know that tritone over the 4 at this point. In the right hand, you have E, A flat, B flat, and E flat. That's your 4. Let's do this over the 6. Okay? This is your B flat tritone. All right, you have D and A flat. We're going to play a F sharp major chord over that tritone. Okay? Yeah. See, I'm gracing those notes. All right, add that feel to it. So you have that. So now we're going to the 2. This whole movement is 4, 6, 2, 5, 1. Okay, that's the entire movement. So you at least understand what we're playing. It's that 2. I'm going to pretty much play this 2 the entire time, even when I switch up the 4 and the 6. All right, so get this 2. This is a popular one. So we have that E flat and D flat in the left hand. And then in the right hand, this is pretty much just just a dominant chord. But anyway, we have G, B, C sharp, and E. All right, you're gonna play this over that E flat, which is the 2. All right, this is that 5. I've been giving you this the same chord. So once you get these chords, it's gonna get pretty easy. Then just transpose it to other keys, okay? This is your 5, okay? You have that G flat, B flat, and B. So before, I think I gave you this right here. But in a different case, you can do this. All right, so you have that E flat, B flat, and D flat, but grace that A flat. All right? Then you play that E flat, A flat, and D flat, okay? You can just do F and B, okay? If you want to, you can add that B flat. I do that a lot. So, okay? So, all right, that's pretty cool. Let me do it again. So let's do the second one. Oh, I added that in there. There's so many ways you can play it. So that's why I'm kind of playing it slow, because I started thinking about different ways to play it. So the bass notes are going to stay the same. I've already given you the bass line. So if you don't have a bass player, then you can still do the same chords that I'm showing in my right hand. It's just that you'll be playing the bass, okay? You can do a 5, just like you do a 5-1, all that. You could do that when you get to this 5. So be very strategic about when you're playing. You could do this, right? But if you want to play a chord over that 5, you can do this for the people that don't have a bass player. You can do that, okay? Or all right, this is the chord you play over that 1. Okay? So that's pretty simple. So let's get back to it. Here we go. All right. So let's say we wanted to play a chord over that 5. We'll do this. All right, we back to the two-hand voicings with the bass player. I'll do this. That's it. I'll do something like that. So now you see what I'm playing, pretty much that B major 7 in my left hand. I'll play a F sharp in my right. Okay, F sharp major. You can take this C sharp at the top and put it and make that an E flat. So you can do something like that. All right, do that voice leading. So it's all right. Do something like that. That sounds a little bit more churchy, right? And then we already have this chord over that 1, right? We already have that. But this is on a 5. Then 1. Let's go to that 4. Okay? This is on the 4. You can add that C sharp in there. You don't have to. So we have F and E. That's our left hand. Now, before I actually play that, I do this half step movement. You take that A, D, and F. You take that and then just slide it up 1 half step. Then that will give you your E minor chord. So you have B flat, E flat, and G flat. Okay? So let's get to the 4. You're gonna have to really know the timing. Let me see. So I'm just trying to figure out, because I want you to actually get this exactly. Sometimes I'm a perfectionist, so so you may not have time to do the half step, okay? Or you may just not play the C sharp. You may just do this. Okay? So I'll let you guys figure that out, okay? So yeah, that's what we do. So there we go. Anyway, let's get off that because I'll be here all day doing that. So so we got this chord. Then you can go here. Okay? This is your 6. Okay? So you have A flat and D in your left hand. The first time I put an E in there. Okay? Over this. So in your right hand, you have that A flat, D flat, and E in your right hand. All right? Or then the same 2, the same 5, then the same 1. Okay? So that should give you some good stuff to start with. You have 2 ways. You can do the traditional. Alright? I get joy, I get joy. This any song. All that stuff. Or after a while you can start with that, then you can switch it to you know, you can just switch that, okay? If you have a bass player, you can and then of course you can give the signal, then you can go to the all right, I'm trying to play it slow so you guys can hear it and see it. I'll give you one more. So we can do, a lot of times I'll do this. I'll do this. Okay? So okay. So have this right here. So it's the same four, same chords. Instead of doing this, just kind of extend that G flat to that A flat, because now it's like you're playing this, okay? But you're gonna do that with your left hand. You're gonna keep this. You have that B flat, E flat, and A flat. But right before you play the chord, you're gonna do this, okay? So you're gonna start on that D, then go up to that E flat, and then play the E, okay? Okay, that's the timing. All right. All right. Or you can do either way. It's gonna be going so fast. So if you practice it enough, you can really get it. See? So a lot of times I just play that E, right? So you have that, and then you're about to do this. This is over your 6. Okay? So instead of playing all of that, you can just take out the D at the top and do this. Okay? And walk it up to that D in your left hand. Starting from that C. C to the C sharp to that D. Okay? So, all right? That will take care of your 4 to the 6. Okay? And then finish out with the 2, 5, 1. Okay? So that can be pretty cool. So I kind of grace that D. Okay? So, all right. So I hope that gave you guys something. So I pretty much gave you 2 different ways you can do it. But on that second way, I gave you different chords that you can try. If you have your own churchy chords that you already play over the 6 and things like that, put that in there, okay? Because a lot of times, instead of playing this A, instead of doing that, I'll do a G. See? So the first time around, you remember how we did this? When we got to the 4, then the 6, put a G in there. Do a G major chord instead of that A. So do this. You don't even have to do this. You don't have to do that. You can just 5, 5, 1, or, right? So, okay. So there you go. I hope this lesson brought some value. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Definitely like the video. And share it, okay? Let me know how you felt about this. Talk with you guys soon.